What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm gonna be bringing y'all another special build, and I'm gonna be calling it the 3-point slashing 5, but it's actually going to come out to a catfish stretch 5. Now look, with this build, we're getting glass cleaning, sharpshooting, rim protecting, and playmaking takeover with anywhere from 86 to 94 badges as of Season 8. Now this build is going to remind me of the 6'11 2K19 stretch bigs, and then when it comes down to this build as far as for animations, we're going to be able to unlock pro contact dunks as well as pro dribble moves, and we're going to get elite defensive stats with all around being a huge offensive threat. Now when it comes down to our attributes, the ones that can reach a 100 plus are going to be the driving dunk and mid-range shot, 3-pointer, pass accuracy, ball handle, interior defense, block, and our offensive and defensive rebound. Now as you can see from the gameplay, we're just going to be able to do about anything, and this build is definitely going to be a bully all around. So before we get any further into this video, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least most important, be sure to comment down TG for thank God, King Jesus, as well as where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the creation of this build. The first thing that we're going to do is put it under the 5 position, the center. Now when it comes down to our body settings today, I decided to go ahead and make this build at the height of 6'11". As for the weight, go ahead and put this down to 215, and then for that wingspan to get the most out of our shooting, go with 7 feet exactly. Now as far as when it comes down to the body shape, I like builds which is going to be best in my opinion, and from here, we're all set to move forward with this build. So when it comes down to the finishing, go with the close shot of a 51. As for when it comes down to the layup, I'm going to go with the 67. Moving on to the driving dunk, I like this all the way up to an 86, and then as for the standing dunk, I'm going to go with the 61 for a total of 10 finishing badges. Now for tier 1, I like most limitless takeoff on gold, pro touch with also slithery, and then for tier 2, I'm happy that we get posterizer on silver, fearless finisher, and aerial wizard. Just about everything and more needed to be effective, especially with our takeovers. Now when it comes down to our shooting, I'm going to go with an 81 when it comes down to our mid-range shot. As for the 3-pointer, put this up to a 91, and as for when it comes down to our free throw, I decided to go with the 78. Now with these 24 badges, I like Agent 3 on gold, then we're also going to be able to get Space Creator on Hall of Fame, Midi Magician, and then for tier 2, mostly I like Blinders with Green Machine and Garda, and then for tier 3, the main badge that I'm focused on will be Limitless Range. Now so far we're off to a pretty good start, especially when it comes down to badges. As for the playmaking, go ahead and put your pass accuracy up to an 81. Moving on to the ball handle, I'm going to go with a 75. As for when it comes down to the speed with ball, go with the 68, and right here we get a total of 18 badges. Now look, I like Clamp Breaker with handles for days, special delivery, quick first step, and then break starter. And then for tier 3, the main badge that I like is going to be Unpluckable. Now you have a good selection of badges from each and every single area. Starting off with the defensive end, I'm going to go with an 83 when it comes down to the interior. As for when it comes down to the perimeter, I'm going to go with the 65. And then moving on to the block, put this all the way up to an 88. Now right there, it's going to give us a huge boost to our defensive stats. As for the offensive rebound, I'm going to go with an 81. And then moving on to the defensive, put this to an 82 for a total of 22 badges. Now my favorites are going to be Challenger with Glove and Interceptor, Silver Post Lockdown Hall of Fame Chase Down Artist with Silver Anchor and Rebound Chaser. Now do take into consideration the +4 that we're going to get towards our physicals from the Gym Rat badge, so go with the speed of a 79. Moving on to the acceleration, put this up to a 75. 66 as for the strength. As for the vertical, I'm going to go with an 85. And then moving on to the stamina, I'm going to go ahead and put this maxed out to a 99. Now with this build complete, remember we get a +4 from buying our own boost. The additional boost that we get from playing better throughout each game. Now running with a teammate that has on Hall of Fame floor general is going to make a huge difference. And the +10 that we get from 2 separate takeovers when activated. So as you can see, we get the sharpshooting, the playmaking, rim protecting, and also the glass cleaning takeover. So feel free to go by your options however you like best. Now if you want to get the most when it comes down to our attributes, first I would go with playmaking takeover, and then the second one you can go with sharpshooting, or if you wanted to, either of the defensive. Now for my best interest, I really do believe that Pay Intimidation is the best defensive takeover. However, these are going to give you the biggest boost when it comes down to attributes, but if you want to be the best overall, I would really consider Limitless Range Takeover. Now moving forward, go about this however you would like. Let me know down below your thoughts and opinion on this build so far. Now let's go ahead and move forward to check out the build name. And if you followed every single step of the way, we should be getting these 3 comparisons. And as y'all can see, together, we have created the 3-point slashing 5, which comes out to a catfish stretch 5 build. Now with everything that I mentioned previously about the boost, you're going to see what we can exactly do once this build gets maxed out to 99 overall. Now this is something that I do want y'all to keep in the back of your mind. You have everything more and needed to be effective. Now we get contact dunks, elite dribbling abilities, especially when it comes down to our defensive stats. That's going to be my favorite thing about this build all around. Now from here, let's go ahead and wrap everything up and get started with the breakdown of the badge layout. Now to start out with the finishing, I'm going to go with Brown's Fearless Finisher, Silver, Core Posterizer, Slithery, Pro Touch, and Gold, Limitless Takeoff. Now when it comes down to tier 2, I was really considering Aerial Wizard. Back Down Punisher is okay, but the rest of the other badges, the ones that I like are going to be Giant Slayer as well as Acrobat. Now when it comes down to our shooting badges, I like Gold Agent 3, Blinders with Hall of Fame Amp, Space Creator, Guard Up, Silver Core, Limitless Range, and Volume Shooter. Now as far as when it comes down to Mini Magician, this is one considerable badge. Same thing when it comes down to Green Machine, of course. And one other badge that I like is going to be Deadeye. Now these are going to be the jump shots that we can pick from, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what the build can do. Now when it comes down to the playmaking, I'm going to go with Brown's Handles for Days, Clamp Breaker, Bailout, Quick First Step with Vice Grip, and then Silver, Core Unpluckable with Gold, Break Starter. Now feel free to go with other badges if you want to, but I think this area is going to be perfect for any game mode, especially the red. Now to wrap everything up on the defensive end, I'm going to go with Brown's Challenger, Glove, Interceptor with Post Lockdown, then I went with Rebound Chaser, Core, Silver Anchor, Gold Box Out Beast, and Hall of Fame Chase Down Artist. Now let me know down below your thoughts and opinion on this build and creation. Did you make it exactly how I brought it to y'all, or go about the making to your own liking? Now there's going to be a lot of different things that we're going to be able to do with today's build, and that is definitely one of the main reasons why I did bring it to y'all. But of course, I want to be sure that I'm always bringing y'all some of the most unique builds that you possibly have may never even seen. So look, before we get out of here, I gotta say thank God, King Jesus, for another day and another opportunity. And before we get out of here, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.